His place in history is secure. J.J. Spaun, with that putt of nearly 65 feet, winning the U.S. Open. Absolutely incredible what we saw last week at the U.S. Open. And consider this, our source on this is Data Golf. At 3:40 p.m. on Sunday, he had a 1.4 chance of winning. At the time, he was 2 over for the championship, plus 5 for the day. He was through 6 holes. You thought maybe the passage of hours made his chances better? Well, at 6:33 p.m. Eastern time, he was 4 shots back through 11 holes, and at that point, he had a 1.8% chance of winning. Then, of course, he goes on to birdie 4 of his last 7 holes, and he wins the U.S. Open by 2 shots over Bob McIntyre. Yeah, it was amazing. So, too, is it where we are this week. We are live from TPC River Highlands. I'm actually standing above the practice ground. So this is our PXG custom studio this week. You've never played like this before. 45 of the top 50 players in the world are here this week. In fact, behind me right now, one of them, Justin Thomas, is working on his putting right here below me at the practice putting green. The driving range is behind me. We have an amazing show set up for you today. Many of the tour players that are on site here will be stopping by to say hello. I also want to kind of dip into the mindset of the people who are behind this Travelers Championship, because there are a lot of things that they faced over the years, the mere survival of this PGA Tour event being one of them, and now they have reached this pinnacle of their existence in being a signature event. So we'll kind of tap into that a little bit, talk about how and why this is so important to the Southern New England community and what they have done for charity, which may be more important than everything else that we're talking about, because they actually are touching and changing lives because of a sporting event. Think about that for a second. Now, talking about a life-changing event, J.J. Spaun. Here in J.J. Spaun, we have a player that's already won on the PGA Tour, but in everything that he deals with, he does deal with things that most people do not, namely the fact that he is a diabetic, the fact that his ball striking was so good was to his benefit over the course of the week. He was second in strokes gained putting. He was 71% in greens and regulation. That saw him tied for 9th in the field. Pretty formidable combination at Oakmont, as we saw, obviously, when it was all said and done. So as he got a chance to address the media, I wanted to grab a few sound bites from him that I thought kind of summarized just how incredible it was with what he accomplished at the U.S. Open. And for J.J. Spaun, the place where I wanted to start was, where do you get the belief from? Where do you get the conviction when everything about Oakmont was challenging players' sight lines, challenging players in terms of where they could land the ball? After the rains came through on Sunday, it was challenging players with lies and mud balls and more. Yet J.J. Spaun persevered, and he persevered even after a very rough start on Sunday. So, yeah, where did that belief come from?
It felt like as bad as things were going, like I just still tried to just commit to every shot. I tried to just continue to dig deep. I mean, I've been doing it my whole life. And I think that's been the biggest difference this year, is being able to do that. And fortunately, you know, I dug very deep on the back nine, and you know, things went my way, and here we are with the trophy.
So obviously, if you're going to face all that, now you have the ability to reflect on it, which is really cool. You have to start from the standpoint of saying, what was it that enabled you to handle everything that was coming at you as it was coming at you? How were you able to remain so much, to use the word that he used, so chill?
Just chill. Like if you were given four shots back going into the back nine on Monday, like, you would take that. So they just said, just let it come to you, be calm, you know, just stop trying so hard. And that's what I was doing, you know, like I felt like I had a really good chance to win the US Open, you know, at the start of the day, and it just unraveled very fast. But, you know, that break was actually the key for me to winning this tournament.
So you saw it at the start of the show, that putt the putt, I don't even need to define it any more than that, is something that will exist forevermore in the history of the game of golf. And what better time than go through how that putt happened than to hear it from JJ himself immediately following.
I didn't look at the scoreboard. I knew based off of like what the crowd was saying that I felt like if I two putted, like I would probably win. But I didn't want to look because I didn't want to play defensive. Like I didn't know if I had a 2-shot lead. I didn't want to do anything dumb trying to like protect a 3-putt or something. But Victor helped me a lot. Just, it was a foot left of my line, and it's pretty ironic. My first PGA Tour win, almost the same thing happened at the Valero, but Scott Stallings was in a bunker on the last hole. We were in the same group, and the back left bunker, and I hit my 3rd shot on like the back fringe, and I had to literally mark my ball for him to hit the bunker shot. And he, same thing, splashed it out right on my line and just like fed it down to the hole. It was probably like 40-footer, and which is when I was walking up to 18, I was thinking about that moment. I was like, oh my God, like this is meant to be here, because this is the same thing that happened to me for my first win. But yeah, Victor, we kind of got a good line, a good read on the speed. I was more focused on how hard he was hitting it. I kind of knew the line already, but it looked like he gave a pretty good whack because it started raining there for the last 10, 15 minutes. And I just tried to pick my line and put a good stroke on it. And I knew it was going to be a little slow. And about 8 feet out, I kind of went up to like the high side to see if it had a chance of going in. It was like going right in. And I was just in shock, disbelief that it went in and it was over. And yeah, here we are.
Wasn't that amazing? I think it's so cool when you see history right before your eyes, and then when you get a chance for the person who authored the same to describe for us exactly how they did it. So congratulations to JJ Spaun breaking through and winning the US Open, his first major championship. Now, when we come back on the Fairways of Life show, we're going to be joined by a young golfer on the PGA Tour that I am so proud of. He's an OSU alum, so he's got something else to celebrate this year, but a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour at that. Austin Eckroat will join us right after these words. Be sure to stay with us on the Fairways of Life show, and be sure to make sure you are playing your very best golf. You can do it with Newton golf shafts. I don't know if you've ever actually felt load in the back of your swing. That's when you get to the top of your golf swing and you can feel that latent potential coming into the golf ball because the shaft is loading. That is exactly what Newton golf shafts do, and they do it regardless of the level of your play, whether you are trying to get better at the game of golf or whether you are one of the best at the game of golf. Newton golf shafts will have you performing better, having you hitting it longer, having you hit it with more consistency. Back with more of the Fairways of Life show live from the Travelers Championship right after this.
Head down, water down the left, bunker down the right, take the club straight back.
Wandering minds. When golfers lose their focus, they're totally... But
Bridgestone can help.
Introducing Mindset. The ball scientifically designed to keep you focused.
First, identify your target.
Next, visualize your shot path.
And then focus on the green dot and smooth one.
Play the Tour B and E12 with Mindset technology.
You see what happens when we work together? Stuff like that.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
Golfers today are a different breed.
Who? Me?
We see the game in a different way.
We all have our own style.
We swing our own swing. But we have one thing in common.
We are all about the details.
Introducing the Revel line of grips from Superstroke. With 3 distinct offerings to choose from, the Revel is in the details.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Middle market businesses are facing unprecedented shifts, which demand tailored solutions and decisive action. RSM stands as the unwavering leader of the middle market, empowering you to take charge of change and conquer this era of transformation. RSM, experience the power of being understood.
As we welcome you back to the Travelers Championship here at TPC River Highlands, such is the nature of doing a live show, I went out to show you a little bit of the grounds. Particularly, I was interested in the rough. It has started lightly raining here. That's why I put the hat on. And then, of course, the breaking news this morning that the PGA Tour has announced that they have a new CEO. I'm going to read for you now the press release from the PGA Tour that reads as follows. The PGA Tour today announced that Brian Rolapp has been named Chief Executive Officer, the CEO of the PGA Tour. Rolapp joins the tour after spending more than 2 decades with the National Football League, where he helped reshape how fans experience live sports and most recently served as the league's chief media and business officer. After an extensive process, the PGA Tour CEO search committee consisting of Arthur Blank, Tiger Woods, Adam Scott, Jay Monahan, Joe Gorder, and Sam Kennedy unanimously recommended Rolapp for the role. Rolapp is a seasoned sports and media executive who has specific skill sets necessary to build on the tour's momentum. Experience scaling sports business in a fast-changing landscape and a clear appreciation for what makes the tour special and where it can go next. Rolapp will officially begin his new role later this summer. Having formed the search committee to find his successor, Commissioner Jay Monahan will transition his day-to-day responsibilities to the new CEO and increasingly focus on his role as a member of the PGA Tour Policy Board and the PGA Tour Enterprises Board through the end of 2026. Quoting Commissioner Jay Monahan, quote, "A year ago, I informed our boards that upon completing a decade as commissioner, I would step down from my role at the end of 2026. Since then, we've worked together to identify a leader who can build on our momentum and develop a process that ensures a smooth transition. We found exactly the right leader in Brian Rolapp, and I'm excited to support him as he transitions from the NFL into his new role leading the PGA Tour." Close quote. As CEO, Rolapp will lead the PGA Tour into its next phase of growth and innovation, serving as the CEO of PGA Tour Inc. and PGA Tour Enterprises. The PGA Tour management team will report to Rolapp upon his start date, and he will report to both boards of directors. Quoting, "I'm honored to join the PGA Tour at such a pivotal time," said Rolapp. "The PGA Tour represents the highest level of competition, integrity, and global opportunity in the game of golf, and I believe deeply in the tour's mission and its potential to grow even stronger. I'm ready to get to work alongside our players, partners, and leadership team, and to build a lasting value and to deliver an even more dynamic future for the sport and for our fans," close quote. Monahan, again, was quoted as saying, quote, "Brian is the perfect choice for the next chapter of the PGA Tour. His arrival strengthens our leadership team and reflects our shared commitment to the tour's continued evolution. With Brian's expertise and vision and the trust that we've established with our players and fans, I'm more confident than ever in the future that we're building," close quote. Rolapp added then after that, Quote, Commissioner Monahan is an incredible leader, and it has been a pleasure to get to know him throughout the interview process. I greatly appreciate his commitment to making me successful in the role and to look forward to working with him in partnership throughout this transition, close quote. Over the past 2 years, the PGA Tour has built significant momentum, reshaping its competitive schedule, securing a $1.5 billion investment, creating equity opportunities for players, and launching its Fan Forward research initiative. These innovations build on a strong foundation of long-term media rights and corporate partnerships, proven developmental player pathways, and a growing fan base. Again, a quote this time from Joe Gorda. The appointment reflects the unity and strategic alignment across our governance structure, from our player directors and independent board members to our investors in the Strategic Sports Group and Commissioner, said Gorder, who serves as chairman of the PGA Tour Policy Board and PGA Tour Enterprises Board. I am grateful to Jay for his commitment to the future of the tour and his focus on a smooth and successful transition. Brian's leadership will help us move forward with clarity, purpose, and momentum, close quote. As the NFL's chief media and business officer, Rolap oversaw the league's commercial businesses, including broadcast and digital rights, NFL Network, NFL Films, sponsorships, consumer products, and the league's private investment equity, 32 Equity. Under his leadership, the NFL secured landmark media agreements with Amazon, CBS, ESPN ABC, Fox, NBC, Netflix, and YouTube, while launching innovative platforms such as NFL Plus to expand the league's digital research. Quoting, I want to thank the search committee for acting with focus and urgency throughout this process. Tiger Woods and Adam Scott have played active roles throughout and have been incredible partners in this process, and I particularly want to thank Jay Monahan for the critical role he played in selecting his successor, close quote, said Arthur Blank, who serves on the PGA Tour Enterprises Board and led the search committee. He continued by saying, quoting, having worked with Brian during our time in the NFL, I've seen firsthand his ability to lead with vision and collaboration and to deliver results. He understands what it takes to elevate a global sports brand, and I'm confident he'll bring that same energy and experience to the PGA Tour, close quote. Brian's appointment is a win for players and for fans, said Tiger Woods. He continued saying he has a clear respect for the game and our players and brings a fresh perspective from his experience with the NFL. I'm excited about what's ahead, and I'm confident that with Brian's leadership, we'll continue to grow the tour in ways that benefit everyone who loves the sport, close quote from Tiger. Rolap joined the NFL in 2003. He quickly rose through the ranks, becoming COO of NFL Media and later CEO of NFL Network. His strategic vision was instrumental in forging high-profile partnerships with brands such as Apple, X, Nike, Fanatics, and also to help position the NFL as a global leader in sports entertainment. A graduate of Brigham Young University and Harvard Business School, Rolap, who has been recognized by the Sports Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Hall of Fame, is widely regarded as one of the most accomplished executives in sport. That is the press release that was released by the PGA Tour this morning announcing the new CEO of the PGA Tour. So there's a lot of excitement, a lot of momentum going on at the PGA Tour, and surely this will be discussed extensively. In fact, you can catch it on Golf Central at noon Eastern Time today, where all of your questions will certainly be answered, but we'll have a chance to hear from experts in breaking it down, including from the players. Because remember, this is a signature event here this week at the Travelers Championship, and 45 of the top 50 coming into week scheduled to compete right here. I'm sure we're going to hear from many of those gentlemen as well. So that's the nature of doing live television. You get breaking news like this, and we have the opportunity to bring it to all of you. Again, reminding everyone that at noon Eastern Time today, you can catch Golf Central for even more on the appointment of a new CEO for the PGA Tour. All right, when we come back, we're going to be joined by a couple of players from the PGA Tour. Got a chance to kind of delve into their mindset and their life. That more coming up right after this.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses. and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct-to-consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
Golf season is back, baby. Play the best rounds of your life with PXG.
I feel like dancing. I feel like dancing.
Visit pxg.com to see what we can do for your game.
I'm feeling groovy, so groovy.
PXG, you've never played like this before.
Golfers today are a different breed.
Who? Me?
We see the game in a different way.
We all have our own styles.
We swing our own swing. But we have one thing in common.
We are all about the details.
Introducing the Revel line of grips from Superstroke. With 3 distinct offerings to choose from, the Revel is in the details.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. You know, Hub's Peanuts has been cooking up the top 1% of peanuts for over 70 years. And these aren't your average nut. These are super extra large Virginia peanuts cooked in the USA. Family-owned Hub's Peanuts have more protein than any other nuts. So whether it's a boost on the course or a special gift, the variety of flavors guarantees Hub's Peanuts is just what you need. Family-owned, nutritious, delicious, and sustainable. Hub's Peanuts, it's just right. HubsPeanuts.com.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
You're looking at TPC River Highlands. That is the stage this week that will be hosting the best players in the world for this signature event at the Travelers Championship. And one of those players is sitting beside me, Austin Eckroat, who is now a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. It's good to see you, my man. How's life?
Oh, it's been great, yeah. Can't complain.
Good.
Getting to do my dream, so it's pretty good.
That's the part I want to start with. Can you believe that I know you had the dream, because I talked to you about it in the past, about winning on the PGA Tour.
Right.
Now you're a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. Did it take you any time to kind of process everything that you're accomplishing right now?
Yeah, I mean, especially after the first win in Florida at the Cognizant Classic, it was, I went straight into playing the next week, you know, and you just kind of get in the routine of it. I qualified for the Masters and just, you know, first year of playing all 4 majors. So I didn't really get to let the first one sink in, but the second one at the end of the season last year was, you know, I had a break after that. And it really got to, the first one was stressful, where the second one was kind of, the first one was more of a relief, and the second one was, you know, just a ton of fun. You know?
I'm curious about that. And you kind of explained it with that, but it's hard to win on the PGA Tour. We've heard it, we know it. Was it harder to win that first time, or was it harder to actually put yourself in a position to win the second time, or were you just flying high on the magic carpet of confidence?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the whole year last year, it was interesting. I think I fell into a trap of, when I won the first time, what I was working on that week worked, so I tried to keep doing it throughout the year, but just that's not golf. You know, you always have to make adjustments, and I just kept trying to do the same thing, and kind of struggled a little bit after that. But then, I knew that I could win out here at that time, and once I was able to go back to what I normally do, and be constantly making adjustments and improving my game, I think that was towards the end of last season and got another win. So obviously the first one was probably the most difficult one, just because the belief level might not have been there yet.
To that point, are you a player that you're comfortable with pressure? I mean, even going back to your college days, are you comfortable with feeling uncomfortable?
Yeah, I think that's a big thing, that even going back to Oklahoma State playing golf there, it's that's something that they kind of force into us, be comfortable, being uncomfortable. And that's just something that that's why we practice, get in those stressful situations and perform. That's just the best part of it.
To that point, to try to get yourself into a stressful situation through practice, can you ever really achieve it? Or when you were on the threshold of breaking through, again, particularly that first time, did you feel things like you've never felt before?
Yeah, for sure. But whenever you come on to the PGA Tour, like when I look back to my first year playing on sponsor exemptions and battling a cut line, it's stressful. It's a similar situation to where, you're just trying to perform your best in a stressful situation. That's kind of, you can draw on a lot of past experiences, whether it's winning at junior levels or college levels, or trying to make a cut on the PGA Tour when you're 22 years old, fresh out of college. So there's a lot of moments I think I could draw back to on that.
Where did you draw from to find your rock, to find your stability after breaking through on the PGA Tour as a young guy, so that you had some semblance of, I guess, call it normalcy in your life?
Yeah, so I got married young. My wife Sally, we got married at 23. It's been great. She travels with me most of the time, and I'm really close to my family. My whole team's close to me. My caddy's my best friend from high school, and my dad's my swing coach. So it's just, I think I've got a good foundation. I still live in Oklahoma, live 10 minutes from where I grew up, and I just try to keep it simple outside of the PGA Tour lifestyle.
When you're back home, how are the people? Do they kind of leave you to your thing, or did you instantly become like an even bigger celebrity?
I think I play the same club I grew up playing, so I'm close with everybody out.
They're used to seeing you around already.
So, yeah, exactly. And then Victor Hovland's a member out there, and
Very cool.
I'm just a low-level PGA Tour player.
It's incredible, though. You break through the first time, and for the rest of your life, you're a winner on the PGA Tour.
Right.
You break through a second time, now that's a validation, and you kind of touched on that all of a sudden you're in the position, you can do it.
Right.
Let me ask you that, just use that phraseology. How much was it a validation to your, like, I've been here, done this, I can do this again?
Yeah, obviously, this season hasn't quite gone how I wanted it to, but, I know I can do it. I know the game's there. When I'm playing good, I can compete at the highest level out here, and there's a huge validation to the second win. The first one, obviously, it shows you can win on the PGA Tour. That's special. But the second time, it's like, maybe I can do this a ton of times. And that's
why not think
really
that?
cool. Yeah.
Why not think that? Because you have to have that mentality. You mentioned your teammates, and with OSU winning, of course, the national championship, the NCAAs again this year, how much fun was that for you? How soon were you able to get in touch with Coach?
Yeah, I was keeping up with Coach throughout the whole week, and I actually got to know the guys really well this season.
Oh, yeah?
Karsten Creek was closed down for renovations, so my home course is 45 minutes from campus, so they'd come down all the time. And I try to stay as connected as I can with being so close. And, just got to know those guys really well. And, I immediately texted Coach after the round, but it's kind of funny. We were at Memorial, and our hotel room didn't have Golf Channel. So we are, Victor and I are watching in my hotel room on my iPad. Because we tried to go to a restaurant down the street, and he was just getting bombarded. So we were just watching on my iPad in the hotel room. It's pretty funny.
It's so cool. So when you get a chance to practice with these college kids, and I have all due respect to them when I ask you this question, how badly do they want to beat you?
Oh, I think that's, when I play with them, I think that's their sole goal. Even if they're qualifying, I'll join them in qualifying every now and then. And I remember one time they went out to Oak Tree, and it's a hard golf course. And I think a lot of them, it was their first time playing. I think I shot 65 or something like that and just smoked them. And I think for the rest of the year, their whole goal was when we got together was to beat me. But they're good players. The college kids, even whenever I was in school and now they just keep getting better. And they hit it so far. There's a couple of guys on the team that are mid 180 ball speeds, and I mean that's long. And obviously, PGA Tour is a different game. You got to hit in the fairway, but very talented group of kids on the team.
What advice would you give to those young golfers? What advice would you give to perhaps young golfers anywhere in terms of breaking through and reaching your goals?
There's tons of things. I think something that they need to understand is whenever they turn professional, it's a new game. It's a new ball game. You travel a lot more. You got to learn time management. I think that's a great thing when it comes to college golf, is you start to learn that. I think it'd be really hard. And when I look back at my career, I was a really good junior player, but the idea of me turning pro out of high school, there's no way I could have done it without going to college. Just the, now especially with the PGA Tour University program too as well, because I was the first class of that. It gives you a pathway into tour golf, and it also teaches you how to grow up and learn time management. I think it's just very important.
Very, very cool. Part of that learning process is learning who you want to be associated with.
Right.
You've got some logos on your shirt. We always make sure that we ask you guys who your sponsors are. It's our way of saying thank you for taking the time to come to see us, so you can say thank you to the people that help you do your thing. So you want to talk to us about who you're associated with?
Yeah, so probably the longest sponsor that I've had, or I know it is Ping. They've been with me since, I started their junior program when I was 13, I think. So I've been playing 14 clubs of their equipment for the last, 13 years, half my life. Wow, that's pretty crazy. And they've been a great relationship. A lot of family friends now through the company, and with them being associated with Oklahoma State Golf and all sorts of stuff, I've just gotten super close with them over the years, and I think they make great equipment. And next up would be Michael Kors. I've been with them for now 2 years, I think. This will be my third year with them. And they've been a great company. I got to know John Idle really well. He's kind of, big boss, I guess what you'd call him there. And actually last year I went and played Shinnecock with them and hung out with them. So I've got to know them really well. And then last year I'd been with them for over a year at this time, but Worldwide Technology, the Cabo event that I won was their event.
Yeah.
So they were the title sponsor. So that was just a really, really cool experience. And another company I've gotten really close with. And Ide Bailey, as well as a accounting firm based out in Denver, I think. But they have a Tulsa firm as well. And, so some local connection there. And I've gotten to do a lot of fun stuff with them as well. But that side of the business I do not understand. So I'm just, but it's been fun. And then I got one on my bag as well. It's Trans Impact. It's a logistics company. So it's really cool, the sport, that you get throughout the PGA Tour. And, these guys just love golf. And it's just a fun, endeavor for them. But it's meaningful for us. This is, it helps us, especially when you're young, getting these sponsors and, helping, pay for your dream.
Yeah, and he's living his dream every day. As we mentioned, a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. Really proud of you. It's awesome to see you doing so well. We wish you the very, very best. Thank you for the time that you gave us today as well. We'll be back, folks, with more from the Travelers Championship. Stay with us. Joined by Andrew Novak at the same time. So, Andrew, I guess it came out last week. You were in a pretty marquee group. There's a little pain going on in the ribs. What's happening?
Yeah, just intercostal muscle strain. Not an ideal time of the year for it, but I'm playing through it. It's painful at times, typically if it's colder, rain, hacking out a rough. When I played here 2 or 3 years ago when this was not a signature event, I did not remember the rough being 4 inches thick, but I guess they've kind of grown it up for this. So a little bit unfortunate, but make do. I played better than I expected last week, and hopefully I can just keep improving on that.
What, tied for 40th?
Yeah. I
very good.
No warm up or no prep at all. Hadn't hit a ball in 2 weeks. Toughest course in the world. So I was very happy with what I was able to do.
Do you think that mentally freed you up at all?
A little bit, but it was also tough because it was when I hit it in the rough, not only was it harder to score, but it was more painful. So it was kind of, I don't know. I felt like I was playing with more to lose there.
Sure.
If I, got it offline.
Where do you feel? Is it on the extension of the bat, or is it at impact?
Backswing's fine, impact, and going through it. So it's essentially it's a muscle that runs between the ribs.
Yeah.
And so as you condense the ribs down, coming through, it's coming through when they expand and as I open up. that stretches it, and that's kind of where I'll feel the pull. So it's kind of hard to get through it. So the iron game was decent. The wedge game was pretty good, but the driver, I'm still like, it's hard for me to go at it. I was probably playing maybe 95% speed all last week.
Do you know how you did it?
Yeah, I mean, Advil and adrenaline.
No, I mean like repetitive motion and.
No, honestly, I think. So I had pneumonia at the PGA Championship.
What?
And yeah, I have not had great luck with majors this year, and a lot of coughing from that. And I think I kind of strained something, had some rib stuff going. And then I think the weather plus hacking it out of the rough at Memorial, I think aggravated it.
Wow.
So it was pretty much right when I got home from Memorial, I couldn't do anything for a couple weeks.
Did you talk to Xander about it by any chance?
I actually did last week.
Any insights?
It's a tough one. You know, he said it was earlier in the season for him. There's no majors, there's no bigger events necessarily at the time, so he was able to take some time and just let it heal. There's not a lot you can do for it. So luckily after this week, I got a little time, you know, maybe rest up and be right for, you know, Open Championship and the playoffs.
Yeah, I do want to talk to you about the form that you had. It's kind of odd with the injury to get into that mindset, but I don't know, it's kind of a chicken and egg type question, I suppose. What comes first, the playing well or the confidence, or the other way around?
I think they could both feed off each other. Like, you can gain confidence from hitting 2 good shots out there, one good shot even. But I feel like that's within the day. Showing up on property and feeling really good about it, like, that comes from multiple good days of golf or really good preparation or just, I don't know, feeling good going into the week. So I feel like within the round you can gain confidence from shots and maybe hit good shots because of that confidence. But I feel like the biggest thing, like if you're really feeling confident, like, you know, Ben Griffin's been on a crazy run lately, like he's literally pulling into the course, stepping out of the car. He's like, I'm shooting 65 today. Like, that's because he's put the preparation in. He knows he's playing well. Yeah,
but I mean, you might be a part of his confidence too with what you guys did at the Zurich.
Yeah.
You know, did you feel the good play coming on? Was it all of a sudden or a little bit at a time?
Yeah, Zurich was, you know, I had good play leading up into it. I mean, I would say Zurich was about as confident as I'd been going into a tournament. You know, it was nice having been there as well, like having someone to feed off of. But yeah, you know, whether that was a team tournament or just an individual tournament, it wasn't matter. It wasn't going to matter. I was going to show up very confident based on how I played the week before at Heritage. I, you know, probably had played my best tournament to date that week, and I knew, you know, my game was exactly where it needed to be to put myself in contention to try and win.
How are you with the nerves now when you were in position, say, in the playoff against JT and all the rest? Are you at a point right now where you know what to expect and know what your body's going to do? You brought up the word adrenaline. I mean, that you can pump it out there when you can't really feel it coming on.
Yeah, I think it is something that ideally you just get better at every time you're in that position. Like,
fair enough.
The amount of times, like, the most you can maximize putting yourself in that spot, I feel like you'll just get better and better. Yeah, I guess you could like build up scar tissue technically, but as long as you're being productive about it, like maybe, you know, even if it doesn't go how you want it to go at the end of a Sunday, like you can still learn from things. You can still look back on that the next time you're in it. So I truly believe, like, if I can just put myself in that spot as much as possible, I will continue to get better at it. And it will be easier for me going forward when I'm, you know, in those spots.
With 11 career top 10s, with a win now on the PGA Tour in that event and a close call recently as well, did any of that alter your self-perception, or did it validate what you already believed about yourself?
I think last year was big for like validating to myself that I can play. I think statistically, I hit almost every single one of my goals last year, but like results-wise, I hit like almost nothing. It was such a weird year. I think I was 5th on tour in stroke average last year. I was top 25 in total strokes gained. Like, crazy good year, but I didn't turn it into anything super productive. I had I made almost all my cuts, which is great.
Yeah.
But I just never really finished top 10. Like I had a couple top 10s, but they were all kind of sort of backdoor. They weren't really in contention. And so I think going into last fall, I wanted to make it a point to really try and put myself in contention, because I was just kind of sitting there after, you know, I'd missed the playoffs. So I had like a month or so before I started playing the fall schedule. And I was able to kind of sit down and look at my stats. And I'm like, there's no reason I shouldn't be like up there trying to win these golf tournaments. Like I clearly can play. I've done all of these good things on the course, but I'm not getting there. Like there's something holding me back. So basically in the fall, I started trying to change the mindset a little bit on Saturdays to, hey, it's not just, hey, we just made the cut. Like, that's great. It's, hey, now let's go.
Be more aggressive.
Yeah, well, not even more aggressive. It was more just a mindset of like continuing to push. You know, Thursday, Friday, I would be locked in, grinding, you know, whatever, make the weekend, like not let up, basically. Just keep going, trying to push to get in those final groups on Sunday so I have a chance to win, instead of, you know, maybe taking a little 71 on Saturday and setting up the 68 on Sunday to backdoor top 25 or something.
Did you find, Andrew, that kind of laser-like focus that has obviously worked for you, but is that the laser-like focus of the best? Because now you've played around them, you've competed against them, head-to-head in some cases. Did you find that that's the difference between the guys that contend a lot and the guys who make it past the cut and kind of take a breath?
I think so. I think when you know you're one of the top players, it's just about hanging around. Like, yeah, maybe Thursday doesn't go your way, Friday doesn't go your way, but somehow we get to Saturday or Sunday and Scotty's 3 off the lead and it feels like he's had a terrible week, but he just is always kind of chipping away at it and stays in it. Like, if you're not making huge mistakes and you just kind of stay around it, like, yeah, it tends to kind of work out for you coming down the stretch. Like, you just kind of be around, you know, like last week, US Open, like if you were 2-3 over with a few holes to play, you would have thought you were out of it. The leaders were 4 under to start the day. Everybody just starts coming back. Like, not every week is like US Open, but it's still, I feel like golf is so long, like 72 holes.
Yeah.
It really is like such a marathon. You know, a few holes go poorly or something, like you have so much other time to kind of get it back. So I think learning some patience, I think, has been big for me.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot of confidence too.
You should be you're actually brimming with confidence right now. I'm going to ask you about your sponsors in just a second. It's kind of our way of saying thank you to you for being here, and hopefully you just say thank you to them for helping you do your thing. But I just want to circle back to one thing. With the rib kind of hurting you, you know, here we are from now until the start of the Travelers. Will you work a little bit more on the short game, and might this be a backdoor way of helping you out in that area too?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to hit balls today. I'll be doing a lot of chipping and putting next couple days. Just getting a feel for that. These greens are really good from what I remember. They get pretty quick. There's a decent bit of tilt on them. So I think just getting used to how the ball's reacting this week compared to what we were playing last week. I think that's going to be big. I'll probably save some of the swing reps for later in the week and see where I'm at. I mean, it's, you know, by Thursday it could be fine. It could hurt. I don't know.
I hope it's a beware of the injured golfer type situation for you. All right, so I was going to ask you about your sponsors. You want to tell us about who you've aligned yourself with?
I just want to say thank you to Adidas, Cleveland Strixon, and Dreamfinder Homes. They've been great to me. They've been with me for a while now, honestly, all 3 of them, Adidas and Cleveland Strixon from the start. So I haven't really changed much up equipment-wise. It's all been good for me. It's just been about me getting better, and yeah.
Very impressive. We wish you the very best.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
What does it take to be an original?
Cam knows something about that. So does Chi-Chi, Charlie, and you get it. In 1955, we stepped onto the scene. Now a new generation of pros are wearing the most iconic styles in the game. The fit, the feel, the look. It's all an expression of you. Original Penguin. Here for the good times.
Innovation has been at the heart of every SuperStroke grip we've ever created, cementing our status as the #1 putting grip on tour. Now the best just got better. Introducing SuperStroke Synergy, our most advanced putting grips ever, for unmatched confidence to quiet your hands and your mind. Find the perfect grip for your game at superstrokeusa.com.
Independent tester Golf Ball Addict tested 100 of the best golf balls available and ranked PXG's 2 tour balls at #1 and #2, each scoring a 10 of 10 in performance, a 10 of 10 in durability, and a 10 of 10 in value. So what are you waiting for? Visit PXG.com or a PXG location near you to pick up your PXG Extreme Tour or Extreme Tour X golf balls for only $34.99 a dozen. PXG, you've never played like this before.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
As we welcome you back to TPC River Highlands, we're here for the Travelers Championship. It's always a pleasure to be here and to be joined by these two gentlemen, which we've done for a lot of years now, guys.
Yes.
Andy Bessette is all the way to my left. Andy is the Executive Vice President and the Chief Administrative Officer of Travelers, and Nathan Grube is a thing of legend now as the longtime tournament director here at the Travelers. How many years?
19 with Andy. It'll be the longest running title sponsor this event has ever had. So he and I have known each other for a couple decades
There's
now.
people around here that haven't been born that long. There are people around here that haven't been married that long.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Nathan whispered to me before we went on the air that he thinks he should become a saint after 19 years.
I know I did not say that. I said.
Oh boy, here we go.
Andy was with me when I turned 30, 40, and 50. So we've lived a lifetime together.
There you go. Well, that lifetime has seen the Travelers Championship go through a whole arc of development. Do you guys ever have a chance, like in the dead of winter, staring at the dancing embers of a fire, to look back and go, can you believe where we started and where we are?
You can answer. I don't know. Occasionally it kind of hits us, but I don't know.
We don't have enough time to. I mean, this being a signature event of the PGA Tour, this has grown into a monster, a very nice monster, but this is a big monster.
Yeah.
And all year long, Matt, we start like in September, and we keep thinking, never accept the status quo, always get better. That's what I learned as an athlete, and I know that's the right way to do this. So never accept the status quo. And so Nathan and I are talking. I call him on Saturdays. I can't call him after 8:30 at night, but sometimes I do.
I'm so asleep at 8:30, yeah.
But it's very important. But we're always thinking about getting better. And how do we build this thing bigger and better? Are we happy yet? No.
Andy is a former U.S. Olympian. To the point of this, what did you call it? A big friendly monster, or
a monster, a friendly monster,
This friendly monster. So Nathan, this friendly monster has, as Andy pointed out, become a signature event. How much has that changed the game for you the last couple of years?
A lot, Matt, to be honest. I mean, to Andy's point, just everything. I mean, you look behind us, like, I mean, how this started in 7. I mean, this practice facility wasn't here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you start with actually the infrastructure, and when Travelers came on as title, it's like, what needs to change for us? I remember he said in 06, before they took over, he said, I want to be one of the best events on the PGA Tour. And we said, wow, okay, that's the bar. Like there's, how do we get there?
Yeah.
And I mean, there's infrastructure and brand new practice facility built. I remember the players saying, you had one of the worst practice facilities and now you have one of the best. Like, couldn't you have gone in between? New clubhouse was built. So there were some infrastructure things that needed to happen. But then to Andy's point, when you dissect every aspect of the event, from the fan experience to the volunteer experience, to the sponsors, to the media, when you dissect all of those entities and you say, Matt, we're going to try to make your experience better. Just every year, we're going to try to take a step forward. And if you do that for every group on property and every group that you deal with, after 19 years, you have made a lot of steps forward, but you had to make that commitment to try to get better every year.
And the one thing we've never stopped doing from day one, in 2006, I said, I want to meet with every player, every caddy, every broadcaster, because I want to know what the list looks like, right? And Mike Tirico was phenomenally helpful. He had a list of 10 things he gave me to do way back then. And Jim Nance,
one of them was fire me, so thank God you didn't listen to that.
I'm still working on that. But think about that. I mean, to this day, when Nathan and I go out to different tournaments throughout the year, what do? We ask the players, we ask the caddies, we ask the wives, the kids, anybody we see, how can we make it better? What can we do that we don't do for you? And of course, many times now these days, it's a boring answer of, geez, you do everything there is out there. And I'm not saying that to be self-complimentary, but it's getting harder in some ways to get good feedback as to how we raise this to the next level.
And then when you have everybody, kind of rowing in that direction, you can see it when you walk on property. So it's fun to be a part of.
It's
you get caught up in it.
You do get caught. We all get caught up in it because of seeing the full arc of where you've come. Part of that arc has been directly touching the lives of other human beings. It's always been a part of your foundation and your mantra here. How important is that to you still, to know that through a major sporting event, we can have major impacts on people's quality of living?
Critical. It's who we are. Yeah. It's the ethos of who your title sponsor is here, who Travelers is as a company. We give corporately over $24 million a year. We have over 130,000 hours of volunteerism a year at Travelers with our employees. I'm always so proud of our employees to give back in that way through volunteerism and financially. And then I look at what we did here last year, right, Nathan, with over 3.2 million for charity. This year it will be much higher. And Nathan kicks me every time I
see that. Very subtle. Did you pick up on that? Like it has to be higher than 3.2, and I'm like, all right, we got this.
But he kicks me. You can't see that, so I'm being very good, right? I mean,
you are so, very subtle.
But it's the ethos of who we are as a company. It's the ethos of who we are as a title sponsor, and it's an ethos of who we are as a tournament.
One of the things that a lot of people would have looked at in the early days, when you guys were trying to situate yourself on the tour calendar, and it reminds me of a quote that I just saw yesterday from Rodney Barber, actually, where he said, adversity isn't the obstacle, adversity is the road. You had taken something that could have been viewed as adverse, being the week after a major championship, and you've made it a strength. It's remarkable.
We had a quote in 2007 when we looked at this and said, and we were talking about it going, can we make the week after the Open work? And to your point about Andy being an athlete and Olympian, like I remember him looking at me saying that the date is not going to make the tournament. The tournament will make the date. And I swear to you, we get people asking us, man, how'd you get so lucky with that week after the U.S. Open?
Wow.
And we just chuckle going, where were you in the beginning when people are like, man, what are you going to do with the week after the Open? Now I would say, it is going out and asking the guys, why is the week after a major championship? What do you not like about it? Like, let's not make it this just amorphous, it's the week after. Like, why? Like, give me reasons. And then we made a list, and we're like, well, we can fix that. We can fix that. We can fix 9 out of the 10 of those things. And so then you just kind of chipping away, and then all of a sudden it's created this, like the guys are like, oh man, U.S. Open was X, Y, and Z. Obviously a great test of golf, but we cannot wait to get there.
The funny part is that, look at over the years, Matt, how many of the winners of the U.S. Open have come here to play after?
Right.
They have not dumped us, or avoided us or whatever, but they've come here to play. And the same with J.J. Spaun. J.J. is a terrific friend of our tournament. And for a very personal reason, he and I are very close to type 1 diabetes. And you know what? I sent him a note last night and I said, man, with what you live with, this is just unbelievable, because you have one more obstacle that makes it tougher for you than others. And so, and JJ's coming. And so, you know what? It's like, that's the relationships we build, right, Nathan?
Mm-hmm.
When we go out, people say, "You're going recruiting?" We don't recruit.
No.
We go to see our friends and to have relationships with people. And if they're new players, we have to build new relationships. And you know,
Which, doing this for 19 years, there's a lot of guys that weren't born when we started this.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Wait a minute. What's going on?
That's scary, huh?
I know, it's terrifying.
It is crazy. This tournament, as you guys know, is very important to me. Coming from here, having seen its glory days and seeing the return of those glory days, now reaching its pinnacle as a signature event. For me personally, the way that it gives back to the community is so critically important. This is the largest sporting event in southern New England, and the way the people of Connecticut have responded to it and in the tri-state area is absolutely incredible. It is because of these guys. It is because of the thousands of volunteers. It is because of that ethos that Andy was just talking about. That is the Travelers ethos of giving back. Gents, thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Thanks
It's
for being
good to
here.
see
Thank you for your support over all 19 years. That means so much to us. People and what people do mean the world, I think, to making everything better and successful. And you've been here from day one, and you've seen what we were, and you see what we are. But thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thanks for everything you guys have done. Thanks for being with us this week, folks. Pleasure to have had your company here live from the Travelers Championship at TPC River Highlands. If you get a chance over the course of this week, log on to travelerschampionship.com, pick up some tickets, and come on out and see the best players in the world.